We literally just talking about 5 questions. The man is the catch. If your man ain't a catch, he ain't gonna ask these. He ain't gonna ask these questions. If you don't want a man that's the catch, these questions ain't gonna matter to you. Here's the truth, guys. A relationship is basically 2 people conversing, listening, and repeating that cycle for the rest of their life. If you can't hold a conversation with her beyond Netflix shows and Instagram likes, you don't have a foundation. So these 5 questions I'm about to give you aren't icebreakers. They're tests. They reveal whether she's serious, whether she's got depth, and whether she's worth your time as a man who's actually stepping up to lead. Now, Rhonda and Mauricio, let's go to Mauricio. When you first got the topic, tell me what's the first thing that went through your mind.
Man, the guys out here really don't be asking questions. They don't see what kind of values a woman has. They don't see what kind of alignment. They kind of just drift by. So a lot of guys aren't recognizing. They think, just the looks. That's all a woman has, but they don't ask if she's anything of substance. Most women aren't. But if you want to qualify the ones that are, then
you're about to get canceled.
Then I mean, barely, like damn.
You gotta do your due diligence. So that's I figured the questions are very important. A lot of people are skipping the questions though, and that is resulting in a lot of conflict, not just in the relationship, but with men like me too. Because I got into a fight about this too. But we'll continue on. We'll talk about that later.
Rhonda, when you got the topic, what was on your mind? What did you think?
Can I start off by saying, look, words matter and tone matters, period. Like, I don't care who you're talking to, whether if men are the catch. Because it's one thing to be condescending, it's another thing to be respectful. And so, yeah, you could say that men are a catch, and some men are. But then you said something earlier in your intro about women, being supportive or however you put it. And it's like, but they do need to have something that drives them to do that. And the man sets the tone for that if you're dealing with the man. What I found out here in these streets is mostly boys that people are dealing with. So I think this podcast isn't as relevant as y'all think it is because most men are shallow in a lot of cases. And looks fade. But, it's just, hey, do your thing. But if you just want someone that is based on looks, I think that does grow old eventually. You're going to want something a little more solid. And they could look good, but they don't necessarily have to support you. But as long as you got some arm candy, for most boys, they'll be okay. Because at least she looks good. But no, you know what I said last week? I thought it was BS. That's what I thought, if you want to know